there are a lot of young people, there's a lot of ideas out here. I have ideas, so there's 401 ideas out here. But we have that problem, which is not technically a problem of age. So how can this group overcome that hurdle?
And one of the best ways to get your hair grey, like I have done, so you get more serious attention from people. On a serious note, I think what ends up getting that attention is that your commitment that comes from the spirit, if I take the words of Swamiji here, that this inner spirit that shows off that this fellow is actually serious about what he's trying to do, and when you see that through in the people, try to respond back to you.
So does it help to have a lot of people with similar ideas approach the same topic and say that, I mean, we may not be young in age, but we are all focused and we know pretty much what we're doing? Has that helped you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So when we started the organization in 99, Dream, there were 12 of us. Within 3 months, we were 30 people. Within 6 months, we were 60. In a year, we were 150 people. And these were all volunteers who looked at our idea and said, hey, this is something really exciting I want to get engaged with. And the more people that got engaged, there was more acceptance of the idea. So it definitely helps to share your idea with a lot of passion and persistence and stick to it.
But bringing people together seems to be a challenge in its own way. How do we go about in actually creating a platform where people can come together and say, okay, we've got similar problems, but working together we can actually get about overcoming it?
The way to go about, I think, is just to spawn a shoes, that you have to go there and sit across with the people and try to understand what exactly and how exactly they try to identify their problem.
Shafi, you've approached this problem a couple of times. You've worked on 3-4 organizations from their inception startup stage. Is it going back to square one every time and trying to help people understand a brand new idea? How do you approach this problem?
I think the most important thing in a startup is getting the right team together. And to get the right team, we have to have an idea, but one has to be passionate about that idea, which you share among your wider network. So, for example, in each of the initiative that I have been in, it has, you know, I mean, though I have been the lead person, everything has come out because of a team around me. And for example, in 1298 ambulance, the team has actually imbibed it, lived it, and is taking it forward beyond me after I stepped out of it.
How do you bring about a volunteer system where no money is involved, yet have an effective organization?
Let me start off by saying it's actually 1,500 volunteers today. What worked for us right in the beginning was this core philosophy that every individual has a need to give back to society, because people saw value in what they were bringing and they got appreciated for it and they saw results. We actually looked at the entire volunteer engagement as a life cycle. A volunteer comes in not knowing what they want to do, and we take them through stages within about 2 to 3 years where they actually become a change maker, where they believe that they don't need a dream to bring about change in society. They can do it themselves.
Shafi, now Bribe Busters seems to have an immense potential and a lot of value. But how is this value going to translate into more people coming towards you and joining your organization?
What we are trying to do is try to take the anti-corruption initiative and make it into a social enterprise, where a bunch of good intentioned people can actually come together, fight individual demand for bribes, and actually be paid for fighting that. And what we have realized in our pilot stages, you know, I mean, it's when they are forced to, when the back is to the wall, that they are forced to pay a bribe. If you have a problem of somebody demanding a bribe of you, call bribebusters.com.
Now, when you start an organization, there is an immense amount of enthusiasm and everybody's just gearing up to go forward. But over a period of time, you will have people losing steam and, you know, you will have the problem of attrition. Now, how have you overcome this problem?
Well, it's a difficult process, but it has to be done. And I think losing steam is a thing which does happen, and which has happened with us. We have to start over almost 2 times in the last 8 years from zero. Zero means I'm the only one left during that phase of time. So when we reach those phases, I think we have to look into some of the systems within the organization as well as within yourself as an individual, that where is the problem? Is it with you or with the organization or with the mandate with which you are working?
I think sharing both the gain that you built and the glory is very important to sustain the team beyond the commitment
Can you
stage.
tell me a little more about the glory?
It is important that you share not only the wealth that you built or the gains, financial gains, but you also should have a mental frame where you can actually share the glory with the team around you.
But then again, fame and glory is not something that comes with your field of work.
I have a different take on what we have said. We did do a lot of mistakes. Being young, I think we were very immature in dealing with the glory that came. Most of us as founders, being young, when everyone starts recognizing you, you get newspaper articles, you have CNBC covering you, it gets to your head, and it did get to our head. And there was a point in 2004 when the entire founding team broke down, and that was the time we actually sat back and we reflected on what we were doing wrong, and whether was it us or was it the work that we were doing that was important. And I remember the words of one of my mentors then, and that was a time when we actually almost closed down the organization because we said we couldn't stand each other.
Okay.
And we had a mentor telling us that 99% of startup organizations fail at this very point, and the only way you can build success, because this is the lowest point you can get to, is actually just sticking it out. And we stuck it out.